Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on, of course, ESPN 790 here, our flagship station in Memphis, Tennessee, but also at AM 1520 and FM 95.3 in Brownsville, and our good friends at News Talk 101.5 in Jackson, Tennessee. And remember, in Brownsville, it's on from 6 to 7:30 every Saturday morning. Jackson, you're on from 6:30 to 8. And we're breezing along. We've talked turkey. We've talked crappie. It's time to turn back and talk crappie a little bit more. Ron Wong is in the studio. And then we have a special guest. He has slipped in. It's my good friend Billy Ross Dole from over at Summerville, Tennessee. And we're going to talk with Billy in just a minute. He might want to He may want to jump in on some of this and listen to Ronnie Tice talking crappie fishing on, I guess, when I came to Memphis more than 50 years ago. That's hard to believe. I was only 5. No. But one of the first places that I cut my outdoor teeth on when I became outdoor editor to the Commercial Appeal back in April of 1988. Not 1888, as some people may think.
That's close.
One of the first places I headed to was Horseshoe Lake. I can't tell you how many times when we first came to Memphis, my wife and myself, my wife loves to fish. We were either at Wapanaka, or we were at Horseshoe Lake, or we were down in Marianna at Bear Creek. All these different lakes up and down. And so Ron, and I've heard about this gentleman coming on with us right now many times, from Papa Duck himself, John Kreiner over in West Memphis, and Ron has been fishing with him. But I'm really glad to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray for the first time, and first of many, I hope, to talk Horseshoe Lake is Ronnie Tice. Good morning, Ronnie.
Hey, Larry. Hey, everybody. Glad to be here with you. Honored to be here. And matter of fact, I just walked in the house, just got off the lake a few minutes ago.
I love that. Every time you get off the lake, that's the sad part. You know, you got to shed a tear.
Well, wait a minute. He may be getting off the lake, but he's getting ready to leave. I mean, it's early Saturday
He's
morning.
going back. This man goes back and forth. Let's talk a little bit about it, Ronnie. How give us a little, our folks out there, before Ron asks you a real technical question about what kind of rig you use. Tell our listeners about your love, your love of horseshoe. A little about your background.
Well, I was working in Memphis Light Gas and Water back in the early '90s and the late '90s, and had a friend come over at Horseshoe and asked me to go fishing, and I come over here. Ever since that day, I've fell in love with it. We'd went bass fishing. Yeah, I've talked to some gentlemen over here that was crappie fishing and seen them catching a few, and me and the wife started coming back over here, catching a few crappie, and eventually we bought us a house over here. We live on the lake right now. We got a dock. When my clients come over, all they have to do is pull up to my drive and walk right behind the house, and we call it the front yard in front of the lake. Just walk down my dock. We'll get in the boat, and we'll go out for a good 5-hour tour.
Is that not fun?
A lot of people asked about my rates. My rates is $150 per person, $50 per person after one person. We fish for 5 hours.
Wow, okay.
And
that's a good deal.
all you will have to bring is a cooler to carry your fish.
So
I furnish everything over here.
And you're fishing out of a what?
I've got a Pro V 16-foot bass tracker. It's got 3 Millennium chairs set up in it. Very comfortable chairs.
Those Millenniums are
good
nice
to fish out of.
Okay, and again, Ronnie Tice here. Well, let's talk about crappie fishing now. We talked earlier with Whitey Outlaw, the one and only Whitey Outlaw. Let's talk about fishing now. This has been some goofy weather. Now, I know today, being Saturday, it's supposed to be a high of 48. I'm supposed to go turkey hunting, but I think that I'm not sure about that yet. I may go Monday, but let's talk about the weather. And Ron has given us all these water temperatures. I don't know. Ron is a walking encyclopedia of water temperatures. I think when he gets a drink of water out of the faucet, he checks to see what the water temperature is.
Absolutely.
You know, but talk a little bit about that. Fishing this so far.
Right now, we're in what they call spawn part of the year. The males come in, they will
I love spawning. Yeah.
bed up, and then the females will come in and spawn their eggs. Well, what's going on with the weather situation? We know it's all been crazy spring coming up, doing cold and hot. Well, these crappie are coming into 1 and 2 foot of water. And when these cold fronts are coming in, they're running back out to the lake, or they even just shutting their mouth and not doing well. The spawn actually started here March the 20th. I was catching them around cypress trees up in the canals.
He's got the date
in very shallow water.
Yeah.
So what has happened, I caught 31 one day. It was right at 58 degrees. And it come in about 36, 37 degrees that night, then shut them off. I caught 2 the next day. But long story short, in the last 3 weeks, from March the 20th, we have been plunging some crappie on our good warm days. Today, I went out there for about 2.5 hours and caught 20. We had temperature change again last night that got down to 37, 38. I was out there in heavy coveralls.
Right. Hey, Ronnie. Ron, let me ask you something.
Yeah, ask.
You know, you're catching these fish pretty shallow now, but you also have to have some good equipment to use catching these crappie.
Yeah, you do.
And one of the things that I did is, of course, you know, I like to use B&M myself, but you've got a crappie rod that you use, an ACC crappie stick. I pick that thing up and I go, wow, this is like a piece of feather. And then you use some really nice jigs, some pro-built jigs, grizzly jigs helps you out. But talk about some of the equipment and some of the people that support you.
Yeah. My rods I use, his name is Andy Lehman. He lives down in Illinois. It's if you want to know about these rods or get you some of these rods, go to ACC Crappie Sticks. That's with the STIX.
Okay.
.com. He will have anywhere from 5-6 dock shooters all the way to 16-foot trolling poles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using 11 foot on the ACC on my jigging. It's a very comfortable stick, very weighted out, and as you say, you've had it in your hand, Ron, and it's a very good stick. It's equivalent to most major rods out here.
Yeah.
Pro-built jigs makes a great jig. I'm getting the jigs from them, Mark McCure.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that what Whitey Outlaw?
Yeah, that's what my Whitey Outlaw was talking about.
We were just talking about that earlier. He's coming out with a signature jig from those people. I think Ronnie Capps is too. So
awesome.
Yeah,
so a great company.
Yeah,
great company.
They'll be out in
2
or 3 weeks. They'll be coming out with both of those. Again, we're talking to Ronnie Tice, crappie fishing on the Horseshoe Lake, and you folks over there know that Horseshoe Lake is less than 30 minutes from downtown Memphis.
Yep.
You can be over there, and I did notice, man. I saw a video on you of a guy did. And they had to mention about stopping and eating at Bonds. You know, I mean,
amen.
Yeah, there you go. I've got to throw food in there, you know. And I've known Pat Bonds forever, back when the younger days when I was involved in that. But it's so easy to get to Horseshoe, and folks are saying, "Well, I don't know the lake." Here's a guy right here, folks. You don't have to know the lake. There is now a person, Ronnie Tice, on the lake, where he can take your husband, wife, whatever it might be.
And you know what? You know what else he offers, Larry, that we haven't even talked about yet.
What?
But if you're from, let's say, for instance, you want to just take a weekend away from Memphis on Horseshoe Lake for a couple of days.
Was he got a tent out in his yard or something?
Ronnie has a wonderful cottage.
Now, hold on now. Let me write this down now. Hold on. I got to write this down.
I'm dead serious.
Right.
Ronnie, talk about what you have available.
We've got some cabins that accommodate 13 people, a big family, or
Beautiful.
We got some that will be $325 a night.
Uh-huh.
The regular cabins called the Duckland, they're $100 per night. They will accommodate 7 people.
Really?
You can.
The Duckland.
I'm going to leave you a number here to call.
Yeah.
And you can contact Wilma Batwell at 901-550-8926. 90% of my clients that staying over one day will stay in these cabins. We got 4 cabins over here on the lake, docks to share.
How close are they to you from where you put in?
Right there.
They're right there?
They're right beside my house.
Yeah,
right. Any more convenient.
On the lake.
On the lake.
You can fish from the bank.
Fish from the bank, fish down your dock. You'll walk over to my house the following morning, and we go out and go on a guided crappie tour.
Hey, folks, you can't miss that. We're going to post all this. Ron took some pictures the other day, and we're going to post this on LR Outdoor. They're probably on there right now, Guy Trebo. And I'm going to do we need to do a little blog-like thing, Ron.
We are.
Put on there for Ronnie the information, how to get in touch with him. Yep. And we'll put a link there so we can let these folks who are listening this morning saying, well, I didn't have a pen when you said all that, and probably I couldn't even write that fast.
Ronnie,
let's do that.
If somebody wants to get a hold of you.
Yeah, tell them how to get in touch with you, Ronnie.
If you want to get in touch with me, my phone number is 901-687-6800. I can be reached through Facebook at Ronnie Tice. My email address is ticehunts@gmail.com.
I love it. Tice Hunts. I like that. Now, Ronnie, thank you, buddy. And me and Mr. Wong will be over there pretty soon to hook up some of them crappie, okay?
I'm looking forward to seeing y'all.
Right,
appreciate your time.
Thank you. First of many times. We'll have you back, okay? All right, let's take a break. Come right back on the Outdoors of Larry Ray. We're going to switch in here. We're going to let Ron move over and let Gene move in. Talk a little turkey hunting, and then I'm going to squeeze in a little bit with my good friend Billy Doyle next to me. We'll be right back.